I think we should wait for 2 minutes. Let's wait for people to
Sure,
join.
absolutely.
Yeah. I think we should start.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
This is going to be
So, hello
recorded, right?
everyone.
It's
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to
It's
be
gonna. It's
recorded.
for. Yes, yes.
All right.
So this will go directly. It will get uploaded on Facebook.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Yeah. Let's start. Hello everyone. On behalf of Story Mirror and Ahmedabad Book Club, I, Yashri Patel, welcome you all in conversation with author, poet Deepika Chaudhery. Before starting the session, I would like to share a few lines about Story Mirror and Ahmedabad Book Club. So, talking about Story Mirror is India's fastest growing multilingual community of readers and writers with 6 billion plus readers, 6 lakh plus stories and poems, and 75,000 plus writers who have written more than 350 million words in 10 different languages. It has also published 550 plus physical books and 3,000 plus ebooks across various genres and languages. It, out of which 25 plus books have been national bestsellers. With time, Story Mirror has emerged as the most reliable, innovative, and flexible publishing platform for writers who are looking to publish their books and reach millions of readers. It carries a very noble mission to catalog every human story and thus its vision statement 7 billion people, 7 billion stories, and one platform. Talking of Ahmedabad Book Club, we are honored to introduce Ahmedabad Book Club, an initiative of Karma Foundation to promote and celebrate literature in society. The Ahmedabad Book Club is a space where people who love literature come together to talk, to discuss, to share, and most importantly, sustain the spirit that books evoke in them. The Ahmedabad Book Club started out its notable journey 8 years ago as a brainchild of Priyanshi Patel. Since then, we have made various achievements from surpassing 55,000 online members to conducting various meets every month, as well as collaborating with various groups around the world. This is all about our organizations. Talking about today's guest, author Deepika Chaudhary. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Uh, she is a public health and nutrition professional. She has been working in the development arena in South Asia over 20 years, passionate about reading and writing poetry. In Search of the Sun is her second poetry book. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you again, Yashri.
Yeah. Talking about the book In Search of the Sun. In Search of the Sun is a collection of about 60 short poems which covers 5 themes, including inspired by art, the flower showers, seasons trail, aspirations and reflections, and as we wait for the pandemic to pass. The first theme includes a set of poems inspired by artists and painters. It translates visual art and color into words. The second theme focuses on vivid descriptions of a range of flowers and the promise they offer, while the third theme is in praise of the different facets of the beautiful seasons and the strength we can draw from them. The fourth theme describes aspirations and reflections of the author. The fifth and the last theme is poet's earnest wish for the overwhelming COVID pandemic to pass and to see the world reborn. So, without any further delay, ma'am, I'd like to start with the questions.
Sure.
So, I would like to ask you to share with us your experience of writing.
Uh, Thank you. I'm really excited to be here today talking to you about the book. Um, and thank you to the organizers for doing this today. Um, Writing for me has evolved over time. Um, I think I had started writing several years ago, but it's only in the last um, 6 to 7 years that I really consolidated what what I was writing. And in 2015, I was able to publish my first poetry book, and now with Story Mirror is the second one for which we are talking. Uh, it's been a very fascinating journey, um, right from having the feeling of the freedom of expression as to the fact to the point of being able to feel healed after you've written and articulated your thoughts and reflections. So it's been a beautiful last 6 to 7 years when you know that you can express through writing and you can go and do it at any point in time. That's what
Right.
that's what I wanted to say.
Okay. Nice. So, the next question, of course, about the poem, about the book.
Hmm.
And I have to say that I really find the title of the book very fascinating. So, in that regards, ma'am, can you just throw some light on the title of the book? Like, how did it come to you, or how did it all started?
Yeah, this book title is really special and heartwarming for me. Uh, so the title of the book was not pre-decided. Uh, this happened as I was writing and visualizing the collection and how I would pull it together in terms of what I had written in different themes. I think there was this one running um, um, what should I say, message or theme built into each of, if not each, most of the poems, and that was, this quest in search of, wanting to reach towards, and wanting to achieve a specific goal. So in light of these thoughts, I thought myself of In Search of the Sun, and I thought that is sort of life giving.
Yeah,
The
it
sun
is.
is life giving, and it's supreme and it's magnanimous,
Yes.
and that's what the quest of all this writing is, or of the author is. So the title.
Nice, ma'am. So this was about the title and the book. But if we talk about your personal journey, if we talk about the journey of writing, how did that begin? Writing and coming up with such stories or poems. When did that all start? What was the journey like?
Um, so there were several triggers of of um motivating me to write. Uh, Particularly, how do you constructively express emotion, and also then be able to carry those words for others, for them to read and feel comforted, or to connect. And that's when that's how it all started. And then it started evolving and developing, and then there were further triggers in terms of really seeking inspiration from nature, from paintings, from seasons. So that's been absolutely fascinating. Drawing in from nature, and then putting that in words. Uh, so it's been an evolution, and I think I've consolidated and evolved my own style of writing, um, which I'm very comfortable with, and maybe it further evolves as I get into consolidating the writings for my third book, which
Wow.
I'm currently working on. Um, so yes, that's been the journey. It's kind of um, from not knowing how to really put words together in a poetry format to now sort of having quite a fairly defined style. I use rhymes. I use clear short paragraphs, and I also reflect when I'm writing, so that it's to articulate in a manner such that it communicates in a simple way to people who want to read and sort of absorb the poems. I'll
Right.
stop here for this question.
No, so you said you are writing another book. So we are waiting for the
Yes,
another book.
please wait. And
So
I'm really yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. And yeah,
yeah, we are looking
it's still.
forward to it equally.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, ma'am, as it says journey, so there's always been people around us, our family, our friends, and not only family, friends, but sometimes some other person who inspires you to write or say something. So, when you were writing, or this entire journey was in process, uh, what would you say about the people around you or the ones who are surrounded by you? Like, how have they helped you, or how have you, used their presence to put it down in the words?
Yes, I think your the environment always influences.
Yeah.
So I started writing, and I do recall being very shy about sharing what I wrote. And I think over time I gathered confidence, and I started putting it, in say sharing it on Facebook, or putting it and sharing with friends over in a message format and so forth. So I did get a lot of positive reinforcement, primarily from a few friends, that the writings, are very stimulating, are positive, and why don't I consider to write more and publish? So specific friends who provided who were like cheerleaders, sort of liking your work and telling you to do more and telling it to put it down in print, so that it really, these poems have a home, a permanent home to which people can go multiple times to read it. So, yes, primarily friends, I would say.
Okay. So, friends, of course, friends have been a great cheerleaders, as you said, always.
Yes.
Uh, so, I would like to ask this personally that you are a writer. So obviously there has to be some other writer whose work you have inspired or the work that you have liked it the most. So who is that person or whose writing is that? that you inspire or you like the most?
This is a very interesting question and an obvious one.
Yeah,
So I have to say that there's been not any specific poet or writer that has particularly sort of steered me to write. I think the inspiration and the deep need to write has come to me from within. Of course, one has been reading several, as a child, several poets, and then when one grew up, you also had exposure of reading several others. But I would say no one specific. It was just me, and I was. I never pushed myself in terms of I have to excel in what I'm seeing or I have to excel in what I'm writing. I really went by what my mind and heart in a coordinated way told me to write. And also the format came on its own. It's a very simple writing format that I use. So yes, it was really self-driven and not a particular writer or poet due to whom I have started writing.
that's motivating in itself. Being a
Yes.
self-motivated writer and having
Yeah, it's a great feeling because you
to
depend on yourself.
yeah, completely. Like you do not get inspired by others writing, but the best part is that how you are inspired by what you write or what how you express it.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. So there's this question that I
Hmm.
want to ask. So if we are reading this book, if we are reading in search of the sun, what are the
Yeah.
points that you would like to ask, especially tell the readers to focus on, or the any other tips or any other special points that you would like to mention, that that if you are reading this book, these are the specific things that I would like other person to take it out from the book, the takeaways from the book, basically.
Yeah, so I'll answer your question in two ways. One is that, of course, in terms of just reading, uh, I really wouldn't like to tell a reader what to really find. I would like to tell the reader, number one, don't read the poems sequentially. They're not meant to be se- read sequentially. So read them at your leisure, and pick up poems from different themes and read it as you like. Uh, and just sort of think and draw from it what you really need to take away. So I would really leave it to the reader. But the key tip is that it's not to be read sequentially. There's also significance in some of the poems are complemented by a sketch. So
Yes.
have a look at the sketch as well. Sometimes it tells a deeper story. Um, but in terms of what are really the takeaways and what sort of feedback I have got and what have been some of my own thoughts is that uh, there is a strong positive tone in all the poems. It kind of definitely highlights difficulties or what it takes to uh, do as you move forward, but it's always ends with on a positive note and with a victory or a triumph in its own manner. So that's why the title "In Search of the Sun," that you always, if in however you may proceed or may approach something, you will reach. You will be on a positive road to achieve what you are looking for. So that is in terms of the takeaways.
Right. Okay.
That's from me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm definitely not going to read the book in sequence, number one.
Yes.
And yeah, I'll be focusing on the insights of how I am taking it away. So yeah,
Yeah.
just like you said. So it's a great thing to read someone's book and to talk to that same very person. So that there's a
That's
benefit
nice.
of knowing. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
benefit of knowing how to go with the book.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So one last question. Uh,
Yes.
so if you were to suggest some certain ways of writing or certain key points to keep in mind for the new writers or for the writers who have just started understanding the concepts of writing. So for them, few pointers or few learnings that you would like to share from your own experience, of course.
Yeah, sure. So one is that if somebody, if there is an inner sense or an inner urge to write, write. That's the first part. Always tell yourself, yes, I can write. I may not be able to write in a manner that's the best, but over time it will happen. So go ahead and go with your dreams, start writing, and as you keep writing and you keep receiving feedback, you're going to improve and make it more substantive. um, and this what I'm going to say is something which I've been sort of echoing through my conversation with you is, listen to your heart and write what you want to write. um, when you're constrained by frameworks, or how it should be, then it doesn't come out in the real way. So allow yourself, give yourself that kind of freedom to let your thoughts, reflections, or whatever is in your mind and heart come onto paper, and then it's sort of really real and beautiful. And then you could sort of work on the words, or how you sort of laid it out, or the editorial, etc. But the meat of the poem has to come from your heart. So I think this is the main message that I'd like to give the new writers,
To write
based on my
from your heart.
experience.
To write from
Sorry.
your heart. To
Yes.
write from your Yeah, that's nice. So every time I'm going to think of writing, I'm going to keep this point in my mind that okay, I have to write it with full of energy and my heart put in it.
Yes. True.
Yes. So that was the last question. And I would like to thank you for
Thank you.
joining with us for today for this amazing live and insightful um, interaction and the session. So thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Yashi. It was a pleasure talking to you. And so, want to thank the Ahmedabad Book Club as well as Story Mirror for organizing this interaction.
Yes.
Always a pleasure to talk about the book and the poems. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much to Andabad Book Club and Story Mirror for always initiating these lovely sessions and gathering the authors together. So I hope you keep on doing that, and we keep on getting these insightful uh, talks with the authors. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, ma'am, for joining.
Thank you so much, Yashi, once again.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.